Hello, I did not mean to ignore your question for so long. I just missed it with my screen reader. My bad. Just for future reference for anyone else who wants to ask me questions about my blindness, to address the last bit of your comment, don't worry, you're not being disrespectful. I find that it's easy to tell when someone wants to genuinely learn about disability versus when someone demands answers because they don't believe that you can possibly be disabled if you're capable of doing insert thing here. People who are the latter don't really ask politely, they just demand answers and try to catch you in a gotcha moment, like, how can you be blind if you can use a phone? How can you use a phone if you're really blind like you say you are? Because blind people can't use phones. And you know what? People say there aren't stupid questions, but I say there are stupid assumptions. Anyway, to address the first part of your question, I do not have someone reading out the comments to me in order for me to reply. I have something called a screen reader, like I mentioned earlier. That's basically a text-to-speech program that exists on phones, tablets, computers, whatever, that when you tap on something or scroll through with keys on your laptop, it will read stuff aloud to you. It's very monotone, very blah. It does wholly depend on, though, whether or not an app or website is built to be screen reader accessible, which they aren't always. Here's an example of what it sounds like.
Just followed you. I love finding another blind. Thank you. I love meeting more blind. You still do it better than a lot of people with 20 slash. Thanks, but TBH, I think I got lucky this time so. Most reaches 6 Thursday. We're pushing things are very cute. Find a scene more. Hi, I have 2 questions. Do you have someone reading out the comments and is this how you're replying to? And also, is everyday life hard? I'm so sorry if any of these questions are disrespectful. Also, happy holidays.
It is worth mentioning, though, that blindness is a spectrum, contrary to popular belief, and I have a tiny bit of remaining vision in my left eye. I can magnify text to a point where if I strain my eye enough, I can kind of make it out, not very easily. It will take me like 5 minutes to maybe like read a handful of words. And when I mean magnify, I'm talking like 50, 100. Size font does not cut it. We're talking 200 and over. But if I depend on that too much, it will actually put me at risk of causing more damage and more vision loss. Glaucoma, eye pressure, and optic nerve damage are so much fun. Yay! To answer the second half of your question, is my everyday life hard? Not really. It's only when things aren't accessible that I am reminded of how hard it can be. In the months after I lost my vision, it was very difficult and sad, though, because I wasn't born blind, and I was suddenly disabled, permanently disabled, suddenly blind, without any warning, just thrown into the deep end. So that was a massive readjustment. But since then, it just comes and goes. When things are accessible, when I have the right accommodations, all is well, all is mundane. It's just meh.